Good morning, good morning.
Good morning.
So it's PCT day number 13, maybe? Yeah, 13.
2
We're
week
just
break.
gonna call it 13. So yeah, we are at mile 151.8 or somewhere around there, and we are at Paradise Valley Cafe right now. There's the sign. And we just had breakfast.
Yum, yum, yum.
And then TP is gonna drop me off at the trailhead pretty soon. So we'll see you out there. Well, I'm back at it. Just left Mission Control and TP at the trailhead. Man, oh man. It's pretty gorgeous. Well, 5 miles in, and it's only been an hour and 50 minutes. Saw some shade on a rock and decided to take my pack off and rest a little. It's 11:30 right now. But I need to remind myself to take it slow today because it's my first day back on trail. I can already say I'm missing home. Feeling a little lonely already, and it's day one of being by myself, so that's pretty good. I hope I can do this. Like I said, this is pretty and gritty. So here's the gritty. Been feeling lightheaded all day, probably because I'm not drinking enough water in this heat. My shoulders really hurt from the pack. I did get sunburn on my shoulder yesterday at the amusement park, but that doesn't hurt. It's just the muscles in my shoulder that hurt. Yeah. And my feet hurt. I hope I made the right choice by coming back out. I really do. The problem is when you're at home, all you do is miss trail. At least that's for me. All I do is miss trail. I always want to be back out backpacking and outside and in nature. But when I'm out on trail, all I want to do is be at home for the most part. So yeah. So that's the gritty. Pretty is it's gorgeous out here still, and I'm faster than I was earlier, so I started out about 20-minute miles, which is pretty good. Okay, I'm keeping it real. I just freaked out. I've been in my head for the past 2 miles, and I just keep thinking that I'm making the wrong choice of coming back out on trail. So I called my parents to talk to them, especially TP, since she's been out on trail and she kind of knows my thoughts. And I'm keeping hiking. I'm going to keep hiking because the next time I decide to get off trail, it's for good for this year. And I don't want that to happen. But at the same time, I'm already freaking out and made some really good points that it's most likely first day jitters, so I'm gonna put a book or music in. First time I will be doing that while hiking on the PCT, but I have to get out of my own head. Solo hiking is no joke. This is scary. You're in your head and you keep making think and keeps thinking about whether or not you're making the wrong choice. It doesn't help that I know that my parents are going to be here for the next 2 days, so if I needed an out, it's kind of one of those things, like if I needed an out, now would be the best time to decide. But at the same time, I'm only 6 miles in. I need to keep hiking. But yeah, I am freaking out. I'm doing this on my own. I don't have a trail family yet. And I don't know. It's just a lot, but keeping it real with you guys, that's the gritty. So I'm gonna put a music or audiobook in. Okay, I've made my decision. I am staying here for tonight. Yes, it's pretty early. It's only about 2:30. But looking at far out, the next 5-ish miles, all the campsites are too dangerous. They have widowmakers, which are dead trees that in the wind would fall over. Looked at the weather, and there's 25-mile-per-hour gust right now. In fact, at the ridge just a couple of miles back, I almost got pushed off the mountain because of the wind, and I almost lost my phone. So I am making the choice to be safe and stay in this campsite, which is pretty protected from the wind, and doesn't have any widowmakers, instead of having to go the next 5 or 7 miles to get to a good campsite, which includes 1,000 feet of elevation loss and gain, and I've already done 2,300 feet of elevation today. Today has just been mentally and physically exhausting. I've been hiking through clouds for half the day in massive amounts of wind, and tomorrow there's not supposed to be any wind. So I figured get to camp, set up camp, get in my sleeping bag, go to sleep early, wake up early, and hit hard tomorrow. Also, if I went 7 more miles today, that's almost a 17-mile day. Just shy, because we're about 9.4. It depends on what I look at. My Garmin says we're at 9.4 miles for the day, and according to PCT mileage, I'm only at 9 miles. So just over 9. I really don't want to start my day back on trail at a 17-mile day. That's too much, especially my feet are hurting. So, and if I gave them the proper rest in order for me to be able to go another 7 miles, I would not get to camp until way too late. So I'm calling it. So I'm gonna set up my tent, and then I'll do tent talk in a bit. A hiker just walked past. So to continue with what we started doing right before we left off trail, was we had something special for each day. Today is Sunday, and so our Sunday thing would have been Sacred Sunday. And I'm going to continue doing it. And so Sacred Sunday just means that you can do anything that you need to hold special to you. So to me today, something that's sacred to me is family. They mean a lot to me, and it's always nice to be able to talk to them. Well, it's early, but I am going to do tent talk, and I'm hopefully gonna get to bed early too. I think it's only 3, I'm not entirely sure, 3, almost 4 maybe. I'm all ready for the night. I haven't eaten dinner though yet. I'm at mile 161. So I hiked 9.2 miles today, PCT miles. My first day back on trail in 2 weeks. And my pretty is what little bit of the views that I could see were stunning. My gritty, I've kind of filmed it already, but my gritty would have to be my anxiety of being on my own. After the last time I talked about it, which was after I called my parents to talk to them about it, I kept hiking and I listened to a book to get my mind from spinning, because that's what was happening, is I couldn't get on my own thoughts. So I listened to a book, and that really helped. And I think calling it an early night is gonna help too. I have done my sketch of the day. And I have taken a foot picture. And I can't think of anything else. Just for my family back home, rock on and I love you. I did that wrong. It's rock on and I love you. And with that, we'll see you on the trails.